Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, hello, hello. And welcome to another exciting edition of Torah Talks. And welcome live to the House of Rabs. I'm Rabbi Rabs. I'm your host for the evening. And to my right is the one and only my co-host, the very holy Levi Ben Avraham, a.k.a. Luke Ford. Say hello to everybody.
Hey, I just read this article on Cold Hard Football Facts that said that San Diego Chargers were the worst coach team in football.
Oh, I would agree with that.
Because they did this measurement, like how many yards do you gain for every time you score 7 points? And the 49ers, by this measurement, were the best coach team in football because they only need like 90 yards. Every 90 yards that they gain, they score a touchdown, while San Diego needed something like 220 yards to score a touchdown.
Right, and that's why I would say right off the bat that Phillip Rivers is overrated, right? Because he's real good at bringing the team up and down the field, but there's no points at the end of it because they settle for a field goal with Nick Kading, and this is exactly why they don't win the big ones, because championship teams score touchdowns, not field goals. Okay? And the problem there is the lack of brain trust. It starts at the owner, goes down to AJ, who's a terrible general manager, down to a long series of horrible head coaches, and then they have quarterbacks who are dipshits. And this is why San Diego, which is my team, will never win a Super Bowl until they clear house starting at the top. Cut the neck off. New owner, new general manager, new coach, new quarterback. Until then, forget it. They're good. They're a great regular season team, and they can make the playoffs every year. They're never going to win it. Never. And that's it. This is not new. I said the same thing last year, right? I said the same thing last year. And by the way, we were talking about last week, and I was talking about the 49ers, and I said they're legit. I raised that one. I think they're really legit. I was watching the game yesterday.
Really?
I was watching them play yesterday. Their defense is unparalleled. They have the best defense in the league. So I looked it up this morning. They've given up less points than anyone in the league. In the league, they lead in points against. They have the lowest amount of points that they've given up. 107 after whatever, how many games they've played. 7 games? 107 points. They're phenomenal. That's the difference this year, is their defense is top notch. I'm taking them, at this point, I'm leaning towards them to win the Super Bowl.
Wait, there's no way they're in the same league as the Green Bay Packers.
We talked about this last week. Green Bay Packers are better on
Offense.
On paper, but they're going to suffer from second-year disease. And when they get to the playoffs, 49ers are hungrier. The 49ers will win. That's my prediction. I'm taking the 49ers right now to win the whole thing. Okay, so look, quick shout-out. We have some fans in the chat room. It's piling in, Levi. You bring in the people live. I got to admit, I've done 3 shows now on my own. The very fabulous, the very exciting, and the very successful, the Ask Rabbi Rab show, which I do solo. But I got to tell you, I've done 3 shows, and I don't get the response in the chat room from my own followers like this show has. So big shout out to 4 people. Blev the Champ, who's Brett. How you doing, buddy? We got Michelle Bob. Hey, Michelle, how's it going? The Boy Wonder Henry, how are you doing? Great to see you in there. And Kahani High 613. Okay, I'm thinking that's Abe's. If it's him, how you doing? Otherwise, please let us know who you are. Such whore... something calls. Yeah, Levi's wearing his Jewish uniform again. Yes, Levi's back being a Jew. It's Halloween night, and Levi's dressed up like a Jew for Halloween. So let's give it up for yeah. I just stole the joke. You took my joke from me. Okay. Speaking of Halloween, tonight is our Halloween broadcast. So I thought we'd talk about a couple of words about this, right?
Yeah.
All right. What's Halloween? Halloween is not a Jewish day. It's not a Jewish day. Jews don't celebrate Halloween. In fact, I'm going to say that a Jew should not celebrate Halloween. Here's why. It's a pagan holiday. It's not like an American holiday. It's a pagan holiday, is it not?
Yeah.
It's got roots in someone else's religion, not ours. Correct?
Yeah.
And everything about it, we have our own. You know, the kids running around in costumes is Purim, right? Purim is before Halloween. We were first with that. The giving out of candy. Again, Purim, you get candy. They exchange what's called shlachmanos, right? Levi, you know about that?
Yeah.
So we don't need Halloween as Jews. We have our own Halloween. We have our own day when the kids run around in costumes and exchange candies. And they get that. And that's from Purim. Purim is the day you go to your neighbor's house and you go up to them and you go, here's the shlachmanos, here's the candy or whatever, and they give you something and you leave. I mean, it's like the same concept. A Jewish child should be educated with Purim. They should experience Purim. They should dress up in costumes for Purim, and they should go door to door giving away shlach manos and receiving it from the people they're going to. Jewish kids should not be celebrating Halloween, and you will see that we live here in the middle of the heart of the Jewish neighborhood. I've been living in this place for 20 years. Not one single kid has ever trick-or-treated to my door.
Really?
Never. Not one.
Well, that's because you're a registered sex offender.
That's part of the problem. But the other one is because I've got a big sign that says, you know, I shoot anyone who knocks. No. No. We just lost somebody. That's because there's no Jews. We live in a Fermi neighborhood. Jewish kids don't. This is not a Jewish thing to go trick-or-treating on Halloween. None of the houses around here are decorated for Halloween, are they not? You never see that. There's no Halloween parties. This is a Jews don't celebrate this day. Okay? All right, Jews don't celebrate this day. Now, okay, it's the same thing with Christmas. We don't celebrate Christmas, right? We don't need Christmas. Christmas is not a Jewish holiday. And I'm fine. If you don't celebrate Christmas, fine. If you don't celebrate Halloween, fine. Here's my problem. Here's my problem, lady. My problem is when someone says, I don't, you know, they make like a big deal and they distance themselves from Christmas and they say, oh, I don't celebrate Christmas because I'm a Jew, and a Jew doesn't celebrate Christmas. Oh, I'm so offended by any mention of Christmas in anywhere. I don't want it in conversation. I don't want it in the department stores. I don't want to hear the songs. I don't want to hear, you know, the carols. I don't like it. I hate when everybody tells me Merry Christmas. I don't want to have anything to do with it. I celebrate Hanukkah. Thank you very much. But then the same person or people, what will they do tonight? They'll celebrate Halloween. They'll celebrate Halloween. My nafka mina. What's the difference? They're both holidays of some other religion. In fact, Christmas itself has pagan origins, does it not?
Right.
The idea of the tree and all these other things, right? Aren't these all pagan rituals that were...
Yeah.
I'm not a Christian. I don't have that background.
Right, right.
You grew up with that.
Halloween is an overwhelmingly pagan holiday. It's a derivation of All Hallows Eve, I guess, in Roman Catholicism, but the religious meaning of Halloween is pretty much nil for most Americans. So I can understand why, like, for a Jew to celebrate Christmas is totally turning his back on Judaism, but for a Jew to celebrate Halloween, it's no different than a Jew going to a strip club.
Okay. That being said, I'm going to tell you that most Americans, they don't really treat Christmas in its authenticity either. Because I've been to Eretz Israel, where they, you know, what do they do on Christmas? They go to the kever, they go to the gravesite of Jesus, and they just fight with each other, and they pull each other's hair to get to close to the grave so that they can pray there. That's what Christmas is. There's no tree. There's no mistletoe. There's no stockings. There's no Santa Claus. There's no Christmas carolers. There's no reindeer. There's no elves. There's no, give me the more commercial thing. There's no buying and exchanging of presents. All of this stuff is a watered down Disneyland form, fantasy world, bastardized, perverted form of Christianity. It's not even Christianity. And that is basically what is so common in America. What you see around Christmas time is this commercialized, perverted form of Christianity. It's not true Christianity. I mean, I'm not a Christian. It's not for me to say, but it's obvious to me.
What about some Jew who rents out the Rose Bowl and hires professional cheerleaders and has people jumping in, you know, from parachutes to celebrate some kid's bar mitzvah?
That's just wrong. That has nothing to do with Judaism, right? It's the same concept, you know. And you know what's really disgusting is Hanukkah, which is a Jewish holiday, right? And it tells us how do you celebrate Hanukkah? Hanukkah is celebrated by lighting a menorah, by taking oil, filling it up, and lighting it. That is it. That is Hanukkah. You do that, you've celebrated Hanukkah, right?
Yeah.
Some Jews here in America are so far off the concept, they don't understand what their own religion